Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. Once again, the actors involved in Amazon's bastardized Lord of the Rings of Power series are calling Tolkien fans racists. And why are they doing this? Because nobody wants to watch the crappy show. The crappy show that was written by the two dimwits, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, who had virtually no experience prior to working on this series as either showrunners or having written anything this extensive. These two guys have completely twisted everything that J.R.R. Tolkien created for their own personal benefit. And what they have created is not what J.R.R. Tolkien wrote. The Lord of the Rings of Power is solely the creation of J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, not J.R.R. Tolkien. And what do they think of the fans? Well, we have to just go back and see a little over a month ago when J.D. Payne decided to call the fans patently evil. Yes, I must be patently evil because I can't stand their show and I have no interest in watching it. And it isn't just them. We also have Lindsay Weber, their producer, and she's gone after people too. As well as the head of Amazon Studios, Jennifer Salke, who came from NBC. So yes, this whole thing is just a horrific mess. All they want to do is go after people, call people names because they don't want to watch the show. And let's not forget that it was only a few days ago when we learned that Amazon in Brazil is so desperate to get people to watch The Lord of the Rings of Power, they're bribing people in Brazil with free food to try to get them to watch the show. That's how sad and pathetic this is. But let's get into this article. Multiple Lord of the Rings of Power actors continued to attack fans of creator J.R.R. Tolkien and his works as racists. And this is the thing I want people to really understand. They aren't just calling the fans racist, they are calling J.R.R. Tolkien and his works as being racist. Why would they want to be involved in it if they think he and his works are racist? Because ultimately what they are producing and involved in has very little to do with J.R.R. Tolkien. Their show has been exposed to audiences as being a black hole of creativity. Isn't that the truth? First off, if there was any racist backlash, Variety did not provide any evidence of it, and neither have any of those actors. The official Lord of the Rings of Power Twitter account posted a message condemning racism the cast was allegedly receiving, but again did not provide any evidence of it actually occurring. Because if there is no evidence, then it's just a bunch of lies. And Amazon is really good at doing that, apparently, as are these cast members and everybody else involved in this show, because they are desperately trying to get people to watch it. What was occurring is that people were criticizing the Lord of the Rings of Power's race swapping and the complete abandonment of Tolkien's work to push intersectional woke politics. And that's the truth. One of the biggest critics of the show, YouTuber Just Some Guy, took Amazon to task over these points in a video he published back in March. In the video, he stated, "The point of Tolkien's stories is to be English in design and effect. And Middle-earth reflects that in its cultures, languages, and the appearance of its races. To change this, to remove the Englishness, or really the whiteness from Tolkien's stories, is to undermine the very purpose of his works. It should be obvious that this will result in the backlash, but for some reason, after watching fans reject every attempt at playing politics with major franchises like Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, and the MCU, Amazon decided to inject progressive politics into their show, along with playing loose and fast with the lore," he continued. And we're shocked when fans gave them the one-finger salute. Criticizing a show for race swapping its characters is not racism, no matter how much Prime Video and these actors want it to be. No, the fault is with these actors and Prime Video. They chose to radically alter Tolkien's work in both how the characters look and appear, as well as in the substance of the storytelling. As Eric July noted in a video upload from June 2021, let's talk about these actors and actresses real quick. These guys have absolutely no integrity, which is why you should not take them seriously in their advocacy on the subject matter of race. This is just more of the same. They can't get people to watch the show, so they resort to trying to guilt trip the entire Tolkien fandom into watching it. It's not going to work. People do not want to watch this show. It has not done well in viewing numbers. Nielsen's ratings demonstrate that, and Amazon is still desperate to try and pay for the show, so much so that they just recently started laying off about 10,000 workers. So people are losing their jobs at Amazon, and part of the reason for that is the failure of this show and the insane amount of money that they're spending to produce it. What film studio would set aside $1 billion to produce a streaming series? It's ridiculous. In order for this thing to make money for Amazon, just to have broken even, Amazon spent roughly $1 billion. And the cost of a Amazon Prime subscription is $140 per year. That would mean that in order to get back that $1 billion that they wasted on The Lord of the Rings of Power, they would need well over 7 million new Amazon Prime subscribers in order to cover the cost of this series. And clearly, they are not getting over 7 million new subscribers as a result of producing this show, because they're not drawing people to it. Tolkien fans aren't interested in it. There are tens of millions of Tolkien fans. If they had been true to Tolkien's lore, if they had not messed it up, if they had not gone so far against what Tolkien wrote, but the fact that they just have completely undermined everything that Tolkien wrote, including the transformation of Galadriel into a Mary Sue, which she never was in J.R.R. Tolkien's writings. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody is interested in that. So what do? Attack the fans because the fans aren't going to watch it. And guess what? Guilt tripping us into watching this show, it's not going to work.
Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.